Morocco. There is no Morocco. There's never been a Morocco.
I'm BP Valenzuela and I'm 18 and I make electronic music, pop music, electro pop. It started when I was 12. When I was 12, I was very introverted. I was very. When I tried to make music, I would stay in my room and I had an old PC. I don't know if you know the program Audacity, pero free lang siya, nada-download lang siya sa internet. It's not like the programs now that you have that are like $300. It's free. It's open source. And I would try to make my own music. I would, because before, I learned how to play guitar because I was jealous of my sister's guitar. So I bought my own. It was like 700. It was a nylon guitar. And I started making music. I started trying to write my own songs. And I thought, why can't I record my own? So I bought Mixcraft for $60 and I tried to record my own songs. I was 13 at the time. There's this site called Pure Volume. Yeah, dati pa yun eh. And I started posting songs under the name Kid Flash. And they would be acoustic lang. I started playing guitar for other bands. I started being more active in the music organizations in my school. But on the side, I would stay in my room. I would just try to learn how to record things on my own. I would buy equipment, and my mom would always ask me, "What's this for? What's this for?" And I would never let anyone really listen, like maybe just a handful of people. And when was confident enough to write music that I wanted people to listen to, I did. And I would keep writing, hold up in my room, and then one day I wrote this song called Building. It made kind of a musical catalyst for me because I felt like finally this is the sound I want to achieve. And people were taking notice. And from then on, people started wanting me to make more music. They wanted to hear more. They wanted. I finally got a little bit of exposure. It made me feel more confident because it's not for something that is popular or conformist. Not to sound pretentious, pero like, kasi my music, that for example, that song Building is like filled with samples, crumpled paper, and dial tones, and it features a poem called "My Love Is Building a Building" by E. Cummings. So it's pretty experimental, pero the fact that people like it and it's the song that people like almost the most. There. And now I have an EP and people are like, wow, this is new. This is not to overuse the word. This is fresh. And my dad, he's like, this is what you do pala with your free time. And I'm just like, yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. My family finally like really warmed up to my music because before they really didn't know what I was doing and I didn't know what I was doing, and now it's in a tangible form. It's in a nice little sleeve. Um, so before I was 12, I was in my room. I was just tinkering with other things, a guitar, trying to make like glitchy space post rock, and now I get to perform to pack crowds somehow. And for that for me is still kind of surreal. It's or people sing along to my songs. It's I don't know. It's a surreal kind of experience talaga. Um But in my adolescence, I used to listen to a lot of 90s rock. Third Eye Blind, Oasis, Goo Dolls, Chin Blossoms, Eve Six. A lot of that. I used to just burn CDs and listen to them on a Discman. Coincidentally, I still listen to a lot of that music for inspiration because the emotional content of 90s rock was something I really kept close to me. When I grew older, I started listening to R&B and electronic music like James Blake, Frank Ocean, Ryan Hemsworth. Also a lot of post-rock and instrumental people. Explosions in the Sky. Um, Mogwai, Caspian, um, Red Sparrows. I tried to open my mind to a lot of other things because when I was really young, I would only listen to one thing over and over. And I would start hoarding music. I wanted my music to be more of a synthesis of not only everything I've listened to, because you know how you have like a soundtrack to your life, and you're just like at these very moments you feel a certain thing. For the artists that make the music, syempre it comes from a certain it's derivative from a certain kind of experience, diba? So the sound I've been aspiring to, and when people ask me, at least, is the emotional content of 90s pop rock, and also the technicality of electronic music, the deliberateness and the sincerity. It's a dichotomy, pero it works. The whole EP is like a passion project. It's really um, about real moments in my life and what I felt like in those moments. And to frame them lang with samples and stuff is really taking it to another level, because a song makes you want to feel something, or a song is a feeling. It's not just a song, it's a moment also, a moment, a feeling, and you're taking it higher with, for example, in the EP there are two songs, Building and All That You Are. In Building, there's the poem of E. Cummings, my love is building a building, and All That You Are is it's love is the every only God. So there's those. In the opener, Geomorph, it's Almost Famous and Say Anything, Cameron Crowe movies, and in Second Nature, it's a snippet from Donnie Darko, which is one of my favorite movies. My music's incidental, at least, to my personality or my life. Um, I feel like it's an extension of me. It's I can't separate from myself. So there's some people who have like a work life and a personal life. I can't, because my work, my art, my craft is inseparable from who I am. And people um inspire me so much. Like people around me, the people I get to meet, the books I read, the things I eat, the things I see. They inspire me so much. Even in like I'm inspired by a lot of visual art and uh, literature, a lot of literature, and I think it reflects in my music talaga. I have some unreleased songs like with some audiobook samples like from East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I read somewhat a lot. I wouldn't say like I read every day, but I kind of do. But I read constantly, and I think that's one of the things that inspires me the most as a musician. Um, and it's weird because when I tried these things, I wasn't doing it for an audience. I was doing it for myself. And consequently, people just started warming up to it talaga. And I felt like, how would you say, when I would get praise at least, which I don't know, I don't know how to receive it actually. When I get praise from other people saying like, oh, you're pushing the envelope, you're making something that a lot of people haven't heard yet, or, well, not to overuse the word, like maybe fresh. Um, it isn't sad. It's more of eye opening because people should be free to take creative liberties with what they do, and not have to constantly have a tugging in themselves to feel the need to shape it to other people's tastes. And now I feel like people are doing that. They're making the music they want. They're making the music they feel they should make for themselves. And the audience taste is evolving. You can see that with the music scene now, with all the bands and all the artists that are out there. My friends, I'm inspired a lot by them because they just do whatever they want, whatever the hell they want. Now the times are changing, and genres suddenly are exploding. I'm in this collective called Logic Club. It was started by Rez Toledo, who was formerly Someday Dream. He formed an electronic music collective, so there are artists like Crown, DPC, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, John Pope, and his own Lewin, and we make music and we collaborate. Also, other artists in the electronic scene, Similar Objects, No Room, YLG, and Bun Bun. They make the music they want to make, but the level of artistry is just there, so it's incidental that people love it, and of course people would love it. Also in Ateneo's musicians pool, a lot of people are just, I'm just amazed because you would think with the articles, like they would say OPM is dead, or there would be counter articles, OPM is not dead. I don't think it's OPM. OPM is not dead, but it's like something like alternative or indie. Alternative is just what's it alternative to, and indie, is it a sound or a label thing? Ang labo eh. You shouldn't limit yourself to OPM, and OPM shouldn't be just a label. It's not original Philippine music. It's more individualistic than that. It's more it has more facets to it than that. It's not dead, but it's not a right label. I'm just blown away by the music scene, and you guys should see it for yourself. Come to gigs, support local artists, because Filipinos have an inclination towards foreign music. But if you just see the kind of music in the scene right now, you'll be blown away talaga. You'd go to Bakunawa, or you'd go to Root, or you'd go to Sagiho, B-side. Everything is just overwhelming. I just had my EP launch no Wednesday, March 12, and it was weird. I had to reserve on a Wednesday kasi wala nang slots because Root is like a big place for local music. But it was cool. Most of the people who listen to me they're all college age, young, but they still came. They came after, or people who came after work, they came in spite of having tests the next day. I didn't expect it to be like that. I had a bunch of people. It was packed. I couldn't move. It was pretty cool. It was surreal, and to think it was my event. I couldn't get it in my head that it was for me. Oh, this is the EP, by the way. Yeah. Beep. And my friends designed it. Wala lang, it's very organic. I recorded everything, I mixed everything, and my friends did all the shots and the design. So I got to sell most of them there and then. It's weird. I got to sell more than half. Now I'm left with like 26 after printing 200. It's been 2 days. And people would have it signed, and people I didn't know came, and I was just like, okay, now I feel it. Now I feel it coming on, everything. And ayun, my parents were so happy, and I just couldn't expect this kind of exposure at all. Never in my wildest dreams, maybe 6 years ago, I wouldn't have expected this. And that's the thing. My goal here wasn't like money or anything. When they asked me about the money, I realized then that, oh ano, I'm making money. I only thought about the money afterwards, and people always ask me like, after, what are your plans? What are your plans with everything? And I'm just like, you know what? I don't know. But I just want to keep writing music. I just want to keep making music. I want the people to listen. It's not about like the money or the exposure. And the thing is, when people say music I make is different, and you're so young and everything, it never got to me. It never got into my head. I just make the music I want to, and I just want other people to listen to the kind of music that is around. Because if you look hard enough, the local talent is amazing. I just want people to urge people to come to my, not come to my gigs, but come to gigs, experience the scene, experience the whole experience, actually. So people might think it's crazy splicing movie samples and poems and weird obscure references to things. Maybe that's weird, but I'm crazy enough to do it, and people are crazy enough to listen. And I just hope that whole hysteria would translate to people appreciating what's already there. And there's so much potential out there that's yet to be realized, so much that's yet to be discovered. There's avenues like Amplify, Vandals on the Wall, live OPM for local music, and I'm just an advocate of the new music. Not new music, just music. I guess. That's my goal. To get people to listen, if anything. When people think of pop music, they expect aesthetically pleasing people. They expect all this flash and all this, I don't know, because I don't have perfect teeth, and I don't have perfect hair, and I don't really exactly have a perfect voice, and I don't know, I'm not a pop idol, I'm not, but I make music for myself. I make pop music, I make electronic pop music for myself, and I'm just a very awkward, lanky 18-year-old. I have not seen the entirety of life. I'm still growing, and I hope these moments that I realize these things, I grow with every song, I grow with every moment, and I hope that people, and I think that people, I hope that people do connect with me. And I think more than anything, I just want other people to share it with me. And I don't know if that makes that separates me from anyone else, that makes me different from anyone else. Maybe it's just that people don't expect something that big, like releasing an EP alone or playing in a packed crowd. They don't expect that from a tiny adolescent looking 18-year-old. But I try. I try. And I have goals and aspirations like everyone else. But to reach them this early is just amazing. There's so much I want to do, so much I really want to accomplish, and it just takes a hell of a lot of dedication. and a lot of kindness that I am receiving every day.
On that little heap of stones, morning's getting close. On that little heap of stones, we're feeling something grow. Come closer now, I miss you very much. Come closer now, I don't hate you as such.